So ANOVA is a really complicated idea in many respects, but working with it in terms of Excel is super simple. So we're going to be doing Excel videos for Chapter 13. I've already labeled it, if you can see up there, my last name, Chapter 13. That way I know what I'm doing. And I believe I'm going to do number 15. Let me double check that. Yep, number 15. Now I know I could go to all the trouble to find the Excel files. They're in my somewhere in here someplace. If I roam around Excel, right, I can get it. But luckily for me, because I have StatCrunch open, I can go back to the chapter menu. I can pick chapter 13. And then I can think, okay, 13.1, number 15. There it is. The interesting thing is that everything that I already did is kind of disappeared, which is problematic. That's one of the bad things about StatCrunch. But I do have access to all of this stuff. Cool. All right, so there's financial, energy, and utilities. And I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it into my lovely 13.1 number 15 worksheet here. Okay, so now let's see what they want us to do. So they have this. The stock analyst wondered whether the mean rate of return of financial, energy, and utility stocks differed over the past 5 years. He obtained a simple random sample of 8 companies from each of the 3 sectors and obtained the 5-year rates of returns in the following shown below. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is state the null and alternative hypotheses. Okay, so step 1. Right, the null hypothesis would be the, let's see, mean for financial is equal to the mean for energy, which is equal to the mean for utilities. I don't have a way to type it. Well, I do have a way, but I don't want to get into it of typing that up. The alternative is that at least one of the means is different. All right, done with step 1. Step 2, we need to list our alpha. I know they didn't originally say that was step 2, but that's what I'm going to do. Alpha is, did they give us anywhere? Oop, 0.05. So, yep. But before we get to that, they did say that, oopsie, oh my goodness, having problems with my typing here. Okay, so 0.05. Okay, before we get to that, so this was part A right here, so I better label it, right? Give it all like a big gray glow or something like that. How about we make it gray? There we go. All right, so there's step 1. Now, before I get into step 2 and 3 and 4, which they want, but they want it later on, I'm going to go to the trouble of verifying the requirements, which is part B. So verify requirements. Let's look at the requirements, shall we? Hold on one second. Here they are in the notes. There are K simple random samples, 1 from each of K populations. K samples are independent, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let me type that up into Excel. Hold on one second. Okay, here they are. 1, do we have K simple random samples from K populations? Yes, right? We have 3. Are the K samples independent? Sorry, I got cut off there for a second. Yes, they are, because, so first of all, I didn't finish this. 3 samples from 3 populations. Yes, there's independent. Financial stocks are independent of energy, which isn't entirely true. I mean, the stock market is dependent upon it itself, but it's a caste system. So we're just going to deal with it as if they're independent. Populations are normally distributed. Well, let's check. In the problem, it says that normal probability plots indicate that the sample data come from normal populations. So yes, because the problem states this, or says so, I suppose. All right, and last but not least, the population variances. So let me find the variance equal var dot s. Sorry, these are sample variances for each of these. And remember, we want the biggest one to be less than twice as big as the smallest one. Oh, we totally have that, right? Let me type it up. Hold on one second. The largest one, which is 26.2528, is definitely less than twice of the smallest one. The smallest one's 20. So if you multiply that by 2, you're going to have 40, which you're definitely less than that, right? All right, we're done with that part, and I'll be back here for the test.